Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gaming Community Establishment Podcast Show today. Once again, season 3. We are close to finishing up the season. It's been great having you guys on the show and for the watchers out there watching the channel. But today, we got another special episode for you all today with a DJ here in the IE. So, what I'm going to do is let him give himself an introduction and you guys can tune in.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Christian Ortiz, and I go by the name of DJSwiff. Thanks for having me in this podcast. Really appreciate the moment. First podcast for me. So yes.
Nice, man. Nice. So, it's glad to have you here today on the show. What do you see like? Well, no, not see yet. What's your history about gaming, period? Because like being a DJ and then just hearing about gaming and stuff like that, what kind of prompted you to get more in tune with the music, but also the game as well?
Good question. Man, it's gotta be a long one, but I guess, gaming. If you think about it, gaming and music and DJing, they actually collide together because like many games they put a lot of music, like NBA 2K and like football games. Like all these games they use like our modern day like music, that we listen to. So I guess for me, my history of gaming, I mean, well, I was born in the 90s. So like I'm born 93. So like I was kind of like I grew up in the era of like the starting of gaming, like so by the time I guess I was like I gotta say like 7 or 6, that's when I actually had my actual first like gaming console. That was a Nintendo 64. So that's how OG I am.
Mine too. Yep.
The 64 was like iconic in a way because it not only did it bring like a digital era, but at the same time like like it was just unique. It was 3D, like Super Nintendo, Mario, like 3D, like it kind of created the animation, but at the same time it created many games that like most of us grew up with compared to like PlayStation. Some of us couldn't afford PlayStation, so we just got a Nintendo, but for us was that. So I gotta say that Nintendo was like the beginning of my gaming history. From there, just played like your basic Super Nintendo. I played like all the Nintendo games, Super Nintendo, and like all of these growing up. But like mostly the 64 was like the icon for me. And I think from ways of from ways of like music wise and like some of the games that I played with the Super Nintendo, I gotta say is like like more like the basketball games, like they have those creepy, like like those like old school like musics in the background, but like
Yep.
so yeah, I think it's just those. The Donkey Kong games, those Donkey Kong games are like their music is so unique, but yeah, I started from there, and then that was my first game. Then from there, I got the Game Boy, more handheld, and stuff like that. Growing up a little bit more to my, I gotta say, like as I'm great, like I gotta say, when I'm 12 years old, mid teenage year, that's when PlayStation 2 came out. So that was to be honest, PlayStation 2 is like the I think that was like the what basically explains my whole entire like teenage years, like PlayStation 2. I had Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto was all up in the Grand Theft Auto game. So I think Grand Theft Auto is like the game that really introduced me to music, because like I used to play GTA 3, and like how they had the radio stations, like music,
Yes.
right?
Classic.
So
Classic. Yep.
so those were, those radio stations, like they put some good music there. Like they put a lot of like underground hip hop and like stuff that you normally never heard in the radio. It was just for a rated M game. So
Yep.
I guess GTA 3, Vice City. Once this came to Vice City, I was like, I had to get, because it's a GTA game. You could do whatever you want. But like the music was pretty cool because like you hear you hear Grand Theft Auto 3, it's kind of like it's a starting, it's not the best. Then you go to Vice City, you hear it's more like 80s. I think that's where I got introduced to 80s music because of Vice City. Vice City played a lot of like 80s music, and
Yep.
even hip hop too. They put a lot of hip hop, a lot of like stuff like that. So like as I'm playing those games, I'm just like switching, like even though they repeated the same songs over and over, I was like
Yep.
Iconic part because it actually introduced me to more music. And I think the game that I think you will connect to, I think everybody that's listening to the podcast is gonna connect to, is gonna be Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, hands down. Right there, you go. I told you, I see your hands up.
Hands down.
I'm pretty sure everybody listening to
Yeah.
the podcast, they're like, my man right there, he knows what's up. Because literally, GTA San Andreas, not only was it like, if you kind of play the game, it talked about many like historical things. You know, it was based mostly in LA, San Francisco, and like Las Vegas.
Yep.
It opened the world more, you know, like from gaming, you know, like you could do way more stuff, not just what a simple game could do. But as you're in there, I think like the more cool part about that is like, one, you get to play the low riders. Like you play like a low rider, you know, you used to do the missions with the low riders. So like you used to play the hip hop in the background, so like it goes with, and then
Man.
like your character can, and I think like the coolest thing is like you get to be more like an actual person. So like you go to the club, you know, you remember that one scene when like you go to the club, or you go to
Yep.
the club, you're like, oh cool and stuff like that, and then they start doing the dance moves and you're dancing.
Man. Oh my God. Memories right there, man. That's classic right
I
there.
know,
DJ Swiff, everybody.
I know. I hate you guys with the nostalgia right now, man. But I mean, that game, I mean, it was pretty cool. And I think the radio stations was pretty cool. Radio Los Santos and like those, like they literally play freaking Warren G, Nate Dogg,
Yep.
Easy E. They were playing some Compton. They were playing some Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg. I mean, they were playing Big Daddy Kane. They were playing, like, I still remember. Like I remember all the songs that were in that game that you used to put it over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what introduced me more into hip hop because of that album. And actually, my cousin, because we used to play that game a lot, so like he always used to come over and stuff. He actually has the 3 disc soundtrack of San Andreas. So like he literally let me borrow his soundtrack, and I put that into my MP3. Like I didn't have an iPod. I didn't have I didn't have an iPhone and iPod back then. It was like,
Yep.
you have an iPod or an MP3. I had an MP3. I don't know what brand it was, but hey, it did
Still
the
got
work.
it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, as long, and I had the the whole entire album in there. So I think that's what introduced me more to like real hip hop, like Snoop Dogg and stuff. And I mean, from
Right.
there, you know, PlayStation 3, and then to modern time right now, you know, PlayStation 4, you know, it still keeps evolving, you know. But like I think the most iconic part about it is that just remembering the PlayStation 2 and like the 64 days, because those are like the ones that actually introduced me to music. And the PlayStation 2 is like my main, like I literally have it saved up. That's like my iconic game console. Like I literally have so many games, but that game like brings me so many memories because it introduced me to so many things.
Man, that's facts. And then the Bounce FM, and then some other ones too, man, for sure. Because the music tracks for like all GTA's really, but mainly San Andreas, of course, was like just memorable, man. It really captured the moment, about the game, and then like you as a person, what you're going through, and then how the good times were, you get an idea, and now it's actually made into a game, and you like, oh man, like this is probably how it was like back in the day then,
Yeah, like you
it
felt
captured
like
that moment.
yeah, it captured like you were like, I mean, for GTA you were playing like the character CJ and stuff, like in like you were like the gang leader, and like, you know, you had your boys, you had your homies, and then you guys like, you know, did like drive-by, but it made you feel like you were one of them, you know, because
Right.
the music and like the hip hop in the background, and you're doing the drive-by, like even like it's all violence, but like, hey, like that's what the game was meant to make you feel like you're doing something that you can't do in the real world, you know.
Yeah, and then to go to the store to actually buy clothes,
Mm.
that's another factor to it too,
Oh
man.
yes,
Oh,
dude. The creativity. It's just not
yep.
just that, but like you get to custom your own car. Like you literally brought like, see how like
car,
connects
car
to
all
like,
the time.
like I felt like I was going to like, I don't know if you ever watched like Pimp My Ride or like
Yep.
customs, you know. I just like literally what I used to do is when I was playing that game, I used to just get any random car. I just put it in the garage and I like pimped it out to like Nas, and freaking like I left with a, I guess like the one of the coolest cars I did. I literally put a limousine inside. I literally put hydraulics, Nas. And like
all the time, every car you get, man. And then if you were short on money, what you do? You put a cheat code in.
cheat code, yes.
You know what? I still remember the button too. It's R1, R2, L1, L2, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right.
Yeah,
Code.
I actually have. I think for anybody in the podcast that are listening, if you're an OG gamer, if and I have to say this, if you have still the cheat code booklets, if you guys still have that, that's OG right there.
I got two.
Oh, you got two? Oh, okay. I have three. If you guys still have that, that's icon right there, dude. Because like that's a true gaming right there. Because we lived off of the cheat codes. Like
Really,
we
really
had,
did.
like
Really
it
did.
couldn't pass a mission without doing at least 2 or 3 cheat codes, you know.
Yeah.
And I still have it. I mean, even if you want to take a little bit further, if you have the cheat code book, but you have in there lined papers with written cheat codes, that's another factor right there, dude. Like
DJSwiff, everybody. DJSwiff. He knows what he's talking about.
I know. I mean, it's that's what I'm telling you. You know, it's like those games. Like if you play them right now, the games right now, you can't do that type of fun stuff. You know, it's like
Nope.
you
They
can.
put a ban on that. They put a cap on that. More hardcore. Really, since towards the late games of PS3s, they put a cap on cheat codes for most of the games.
And it was, I think, I mean, in a way, if you think about it, modding is kind of like the modern cheat code, kind of modding, but it's not the same, you know, because like you have to have either you have a PC or you have a modded game system.
It's more work now,
and it's more stuff, and it's more expensive, and it's better how it was because all you had to do was just put a cheat code and bam, you could literally change your character to be a pedestrian or like make the cars
weather,
you know. And now you have to go to like special mods to either play. Oh, he's shooting, and while he's shooting, he throws cars at you. You could have done that mod, like you could have done that as a cheat code back in the days.
Yeah,
it's not the same, you know. It's just I think in a way it changed everything of gaming because of the whole modding and stuff as technology grew on. But like for us, we were the original hackers basically. Literally, we were hacking the game to do
hardcore.
Cool things. So yeah, you know.
And then there was times where I put the PS2 disc in my computer or my desktop back then, should I say. I was trying to see the files on the computer for the disc. One of the discs I used, I messed up the game because I was doing the files all crazy, you know, you know, for that time being that little, you know, like I didn't know what I was doing, you know, but I still did it anyway. But it was fun. I was like, oh, my game messed up now. But that was just like one time I did that, but that was it. But now it's different now, different story now, obviously. But back then, man, you just got, you know, get exposed to it when you're a little kid and you just do what you want to do. It was fun, man.
Yeah, it was like we didn't know anything. We wanted to make the game what it was, you know.
Facts. And you know what, too, man? So with that said, also, what are your top 5 favorite video games of all time?
5, man. There's so many, to be honest with you. God,
yeah,
so it's a hard one, to be honest.
Question on the show.
I know I'm gonna be missing some for a fact, okay, but I'm gonna do my best. So starting with number 5, I gotta go with FIFA. I was always a big FIFA fan. You know, I like the sports game, so it was FIFA, and then it was NBA, either NBA 2K. That would be number 4, because I like the sport games. You know, I like the competitive part and just like just being competitive. You know, even when I had like my cousins over, we used to play like sport games. You know, because we wanted to get competitive. You know.
Did you ever play street games?
Yeah. So actually, that's the next one.
Okay.
So then the third one, I gotta say, it was street games. So I mean, I'm like old school. I wish they made this game back. I think if they made it game back, it would be so nostalgic, but at the same time, it would be popular. Either Midnight Club or Need for Speed, or like
that kind of street game.
Midnight Club was like my thing. It was like I liked it how like I used to play the Midnight Club games or like the racing games underground. So that would be like my third one. Second, I will gotta say fighting game. So that's like literally my number two, like hands down, like no lie, Mortal Kombat. That's my game right there. I grew up off of that. I played the arcade games. I literally have all of the Mortal Kombat that have come out, including
Nice.
the new one that just came out. So like I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. Like I mean I also like, you know, I wasn't into more like Tekken because I wasn't involved into Tekken. It was just Mortal Kombat. Because
Yeah.
like as a kid, I just wanted the one that had the more gore, you know, like the more like
Blood. Yeah.
the more that my friends had, you know, my friends like, hey, we have Mortal Kombat come through. It's like, don't worry, my parents don't know that I have it. My older brother bought it. So like, you know, that's why I grew up off of the Mortal Kombat. And like I saw the movie, you know, and like I just thought it was cool, you know. But like
Man.
in Tekken, like I knew Tekken is pretty cool. And like I know it's a big popular game. Like literally if you go to like Asia and stuff like that, like there's Tekken tournaments and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So the Tekken, yeah, I mean, I played a few bits, but not as much. Though I will say, if it was between two fighting games, it would be Mortal Kombat as the main one. In my second option for a fighting game, I would gotta say it would be Marvel's Capcom. Like
Okay.
those are
Okay.
the two ones. Because like I mean, you playing Marvel characters and like Capcom characters. You know, like basically, I grew up with like, you know, superheroes and comic books
Oh,
and all that.
all day. Heck
Like
yeah.
seeing with like kind of arcade and they're just fighting, like that's pretty cool, you know. I know there are more fighting games. I know one of you you were explaining on yours that you're about to do a Def Jam tournament
I'm
recently.
going to do.
That's what
Mm-hmm.
happened. So like when you explained to me about that, like I remember Def Jam because my cousins had that game. I didn't have it, my cousins have it, and I like that one too. I gotta say that one's also gonna be in it, but people should, I think they should really focus because that game kind of like it brought all the elements of both fighting, boxing, and everything.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the thing was that it got your attention. You get to play your favorite hip hop artist, which
Yep.
is something never done, something unique, and a lot of people don't know is that the voices that it's been done by those characters are actually done by the actual hip hop artists. So
Preach
like
it.
that's like it's never been done, you know. It's never been done, you know. No fighting game has ever come out with like their actual voice. Def Jam is the only one that has come out with the hip hop artist's name and the hip hop artist's voice. So
DJ
like
Swift, everybody. DJ Swift.
yeah, so I mean I think gaming should like literally, because I know right now everything's retro, everything's like all coming back to like popular again because you know this generation is liking all the old school stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
think, and there's like so many like really cool like hip hop artists. Like imagine making a Def Jam or like I guess 2020 2K 2021 or like Def Jam Evolution or something like that. Like what? Like see how I just made those name up and you already got the attention. Like dude, imagine you playing it
Oh.
online. You were literally playing. I don't know. You got the Migos, all three of them, the Yin Yang twins, or like
Oh man.
you have Snoop Dogg against like not like the old school, like let's see who could like Ice Cube or like I don't know, maybe like you could have like you know how Call of Duty has like every month they come out with a different character or like
Yeah.
imagine you buy like I don't know, you buy I'll say like the demo pack, we'll call it the demo pack because it relates to music. You buy
Yep.
the demo pack, all the first three characters. You're gonna get like, for example, you're gonna get Eazy-E as an unlockable character.
Man.
You might have you might have what's another good one like just imagining it just in the game.
Nate Dogg, man.
Dog, you know,
RIP too.
RTD. I mean, you could even have like skins for them. Imagine you played Snoop Dogg in his pimp costume with his pimp cane. He could use, dude, like that's literally, if you think
See,
that's really, that will make so much money. You could even put the females like rappers in it. You have freaking you got like Little Kim or like some old school ones, or you have Cardi B just fighting with imagine.
oh my gosh, man. See the thing. See, look, that would be freaking great. That would sell out so fast. But
It was so loud,
the,
yeah.
the thing is, these owners and all the music people, they are greedy. They're closed-minded. They don't want to share their power. because they want to put everything on paper. That's not even that necessary that much, you know. Because of course for Def Jam, it was all people who were labeled
Under
with
Jeff
that
Jeff.
company, right? But
Yeah.
now there's so many different people doing it, and they don't want to sit down together and actually be like, hey, you know what, guys, these are now you know different times. Look at what Def Jam did, so we can do this now too, especially now with the whole technology. All they got to do is have a good storyline to it.
Yeah, just have a good storyline. It could be like
All I'm
either
asking.
it would be like a West Side East Side type of fight, you know, rivalry or something,
Right.
you know. But like it's hard because like how you say, you know, it's under the name Def Jam, and Def Jam is
Huge.
a label, you know. It's a big label, you know, label of years. So like obviously if they're gonna remake it, they're gonna bring back their Def Jam like, you know, like artists, you know. But if you think about it, there's not a lot of like iconic artists under the Def Jam name. It's like it's just your early 90s, those were like the iconic. That's what the game focused on. And Snoop Dogg was part of Def Jam for a while, and then he switched out of it. Same thing with Exhibit, same thing with all these guys, you know, even with all these even
DMX too.
DMX,
RIP, man.
yeah, RIP DMX. Like he was part of Def Jam and then he moved out. But he was still like if he was still in that same company, I'm pretty sure they would have done another Def Jam game. But like it's a good idea though. But like yeah, you know, like those fighting games, like they're iconic. You know, they're like that. And I gotta say, my number one game is gonna be GTA, for hands down. Like
fair enough.
And I play them all the time. Like I have the new one. I like the new one. You get to do more stuff. San Andreas is always gonna be the second one, and then it goes to Vice City in the other one. But I'm waiting for the sixth one. Supposedly they're gonna make the sixth one, but they say it's gonna be until 2023. I understand because like a console right now is difficult to get. Down, it's difficult to get. Like you literally have to pay either $800 resale for a PlayStation 3. Like really, like just release the.
On the last episode that we did, me and another guest too talked about the whole resale thing. You know, there's a term for that. People want to buy at a higher price. Scalpers, I think it's what it's called.
I think what the is like. I mean, I understand that they're doing it because when it came out, we were still in the pandemic. You know, we couldn't get access to it. So I understand that's a good way of making money. Okay, hands down. You know, everybody trying to hustle some way. But now it's difficult to get a system because we already passed the pandemic. Like just release the PlayStation like normal, you know, like how it used to be. Just send them in bulks to Best Buy and all these places. Let us get the game. But know what they're doing? Oh, let's do it all online. What happens online? Bots get them. We don't get anything. They sold out. Where all the systems at? They just have them hit him and sell them for like double the price. Like you're not enjoying a system anymore. You know how like when we grow up, PlayStation 2 came out, we were excited, camping out. We were excited because they had a lot of enough and they were always coming out every week. PlayStation 3, same thing. PS4, the same thing. PlayStation 5, you can't even get it.
See, and then plus
you can't even get it. I haven't even seen an Xbox console in the store at all.
True that. But then, you know, that is true.
What am I going to do with the controllers? No, I want the actual thing.
That is true. And then what also adds to the whole PS5 thing that, you know, that I said before too, you know, on the show is that the PS5, you know, the people who make it, there's a chip in there that makes the system, you know, like more solid. And that chip that they put right there, you know, in the system, that is more in competition than usual. So now that chip in the game system is wanted by motor vehicle companies. And how many cars is, you know, there in the world? Factory workers, well, not working, but the, you know, the factory buildings. So now this gaming chip is not just a gaming chip no more. It's actually like a universal chip that, you know, is a vital part of the PS5. So that's another reason why the whole PS5 thing nowadays, you know, is in shortage. They should say that in public, but they don't for some reason. I don't know why, but that's why for myself, you know, and my company, we dug into it more in detail about, okay, so why is it just PS5s being very limited, or why is it still being short? That's another reason why right there, that one chip. And it's like, oh, wow. So
I mean, PlayStation has always been, in my opinion, PlayStation has always been on top of Xbox.
Yep.
Like, because I don't know why. It's just PlayStation just takes it to the next level. Like Xbox, okay, we get it. You guys, it's Microsoft. You guys, computers. Oh my god, you know. PlayStation is just Sony. You know, they've been around everything. You know, entertainment. You know,
Yep.
computers, TVs, cameras, and stuff. You know, Microsoft is just computers. That's it. You know, like I understand. You know, there always been that type of beef. You know, ever since it first came out, the Xbox, which was better, Xbox, PlayStation, Xbox version. For me, it's always gonna be PlayStation. You know, the
Oh,
game,
let's be honest.
like the everything. You know, it's just the best. You know, and look at it now. It's being sold out more. See, exactly. You have the shirt representing because you know what it is. You know the real deal. But like if
Yep.
you think about it, like seeing it now, which one sells out faster? PlayStation.
PlayStation. Yeah.
Xbox is like not even not if you go on restock, if you go on stock X, literally the Xbox is less than the PlayStation. The PlayStation is still going up, so that's how
Yeah.
you know it's really good, you know. But like
Yeah.
right now, it's just difficult to get a system, you know. I think that's why people rather go to Nintendo Switch because Nintendo Switch they don't have no competition. They're like let these two fight it out. Let's just put more stuff. Like right now, they just announced they're gonna make a new one, bigger screen, and then it has the thing so it could go in the back, so like it could be more wider and stuff. Like these people don't care about what's going on with PlayStation. So like,
Oh.
okay, don't worry. You guys can continue fighting with your trying to get your systems, but ours gonna be easy, and we're making the screen better. That's
And
called
4K.
and 4K, 4K on a handheld
Man,
system. They're, I'm telling you, dude, they're smart. They know what they're doing. Like
they
freaking
do.
Nintendo is, they don't say anything. They don't. And if you think about it, Nintendo doesn't have any competition with any
No.
thing. It's just PlayStation and Xbox because they have consoles.
That's fact.
Uh, and then Nintendo, what do they have? Handhelds. What other company does handhelds?
Not
None.
that I can think of right now at the moment. I don't know.
None. Right? It's just them. You know.
Yep.
It's just them, you know, and what they're doing right now. It's like it's pretty cool. Like I even want to trade my Switch for that. I even have a Switch. I was like, I saw that. I was like, whoa, you know, and like the Pokemon games and stuff. Like I think that's just like what makes the game even more because Pokemon, you know, and like all those stuff, you know, they're coming back. So like, yeah, but like I mean, if you think about it, consoles are getting harder to get now. Watch, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then the whole thing about going to streaming, that's gonna be a whole other thing too about see, but you know what though? We're kind of going to the question that I want to ask you anyway. The whole future of gaming. But that's a big thing because for cable too, I guarantee you, give it another 10 to 15 years max. Cable won't be no more. It's gonna be all about streaming services now. Watch, guarantee you, because stuff is changing now, and these boxes are really not known that much no more. Like, oh yeah, like you know what do you have? YouTube, Hulu. Now the Amazon, they have their thing now since like I think last year or this year, and it's like wow, and it's just exploding and expanding. So it's really crazy stuff, man. So yeah, a lot of changes coming for sure. Like for us, I won't be surprised if the new Switch beats the Xbox. I don't know.
I could see that happening. I can see that happening. Yeah, you know, like the future. I see. I mean, I see gaming just evolving so much. Like right now, we're seeing. I mean, our generation saw the beginning of how a gaming system grew. You know,
Yes,
how it started. So like
big time.
people be saying like, oh, like people be saying, oh, millennials are old, and so like, no, we
Yep.
saw we saw the evolution of all the stuff that you guys have.
Yep.
You
Sure
guys should
did.
be thanking our generation because we created that stuff that you guys have, you know?
Sure
None of you
did.
have that if it were. That's facts right there. 100% fact. And right now, if you think about it, like how you're saying, streaming systems are taking over, you know? We don't watch TV more. We just go and watch a streaming system.
Yep.
PlayStation is gonna start having that, you know. I could like even the Switch is gonna start streaming those things. Watch, you know, just
Oh.
connected. You just
Oh
need a
yeah.
hotspot and you're watching TV. You know, it's just what it is. You know, so yeah, I think one that's gonna happen. Also, you know, virtual, dude. Like literally, like right now because the whole pandemic and stuff, there hasn't been a lot of games coming out. So like, you know, like right now, what are people doing? They're just playing just Call of Duty and stuff, you know, for now, you know, there hasn't been an actual, like, when was the last time you heard like this game's gonna come out? Nothing. It's been months, you know, and I'm pretty sure they're just gonna be like, and I mean the virtual thing before the pandemic, that thing was starting to grow because people were starting to buy virtual. Some people were streaming, playing virtual games, you know, and like I think that's gonna be the next thing, virtual, basically everything.
Funny you said that, man. Sorry to interrupt you, but sorry you said that. I mean, sorry. Funny you said that. But have you seen that show called what's it called? Black Mirror or some other shows as well?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but I heard of it. That's a really good show.
Okay, so they have 2 episodes. One of them that I don't like at all, but one episode for sure is when these people go into the gaming system themselves through their consciousness. So their consciousness is transferred to that gaming system, and they can go ahead, you know, and act like the gaming world is the real world because the whole technology is like they can really be like any character they want to be, you know, made up in the creation and be that character, you know, in that game. But for us to get there, I don't know, man. That'll be like at least probably 30 years, maybe, because you know why? Laws and studies and health and
you
know,
a lot of politics of a lot of like regulations and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
big
That's
time.
always gonna be part of it, you know. Like it's always gonna be. I mean, look at M-rated games, how they used to go because of Mortal Kombat. And we have ratings on the games, you know. But like if you think about it, like, and I think that's that's another thing too. It's not just that the streaming is gonna be virtual reality, but the games are gonna start getting more realistic. You know, gonna get more realistic, more better quality, more better, and I mean they're gonna start making more systems that can handle all that stuff. You know, making it more realistic and more thing. Like for example, I'll give you an example, like Cyberpunk. You know, the game. Like Cyber. I didn't even know about the game until I started seeing people posting it on TikTok and on YouTube. Like Cyberpunk literally is basically like a GTA but futuristic. And when you played it
in first person,
you played it in first person.
Yeah.
The stuff that game created, that's like stuff that we never seen before. Like literally, like one, the character looked realistic.
Big time.
2, the game was awesome. Like it was really good. 3, the customization took it to the next side. Like you could literally change your sex origin. Like you could be a male and a female. You could literally change how big you're, you know, on a game. That's
no way.
I am not lying, dude. Like literally, like look into it.
Oh my god.
No homo, but literally that was one of the things that people were talking about it. That they were doing the customization, and they were able to, and that was for both sexes. Don't think that they were just discriminating on just male. No, it was you wanted to be a female, go for it. You could literally change the breast size to whatever size you want. You change a male, you could change whatever your thing is. Like it just, and not just that, literally how the game was created. Like you could literally have relationships in the game that look like real people. That's how crazy this game was. Only the thing about Cyberpunk was that they had an issue because of the graphics. The graphics were so bad. Do you remember seeing videos of like the graphics on that game?
Yeah, I saw a few of them. Yeah,
it was really horrible. You know, it was very horrible. And even for a PlayStation 5, they had that game out. It was really bad. Like it was lagging. I mean, if you had the older, like they say you had the PS4, literally the animation was so bad. Like they were doing their stuff on their own. That's how bad the game was. That's why the game just, they decided to pull it out of the market. They decided to pull it out and not promote it big, and it died. But see that's how that game did though. But like that game, it would have been a big hit. That game would have been a really big hit because they create. But at the same time, you think about it, that game literally introduces to what video games are gonna be.
Yeah,
that's gonna be realistic.
Yeah. You know, the pros and cons to it. You know, but also the people who are still stressing about PS5, just wait. You know, it's fine because by what's this, July now?
Yeah.
Say by September or October, they might be done. Not sure yet. they might be done with the new PS5 graphics because they're gonna have a more powerful system to handle it, the graphics. But also like the frame rates won't be reduced heavily when you're actually in action, you
Oh,
know?
that's good.
Because
That's good.
for me myself, like I'm huge on frame rates and hertz.
Same here with me.
When
I'm
you're
big on that. I want it to
right,
be clear, frames and everything. I just want it to be clear.
right, because you fighting people and everything, but the whole screen get blurry or get a little bit pixelated. No, like I want to have that smooth motion, you know?
Hmm. I think that's the next thing that they're gonna be. I see that's the future, that it's gonna be more. The quality is gonna be much better, more clearer,
Mm,
less problems with the frame rate, less lagging, more just trying to make it more smoother the game. Well, that's the thing though, that if they want to, but that's the other thing too, and I think that's a good thing you talked about this topic because. I think the last thing that I see in the future, because these are like the four things, that's gonna happen. They're gonna make it more realistic, virtual, and like the other two that I talked about. I think like the fifth one that's gonna be is prices. That's what I see in the future.
you said
Video games,
prizes?
yeah, the prices on video
Oh,
games. Like
prices. Oh yeah, big time. Oh yeah,
I feel
man.
like in the future they're gonna be expensive. They're gonna
Yeah.
be expensive. Like I mean, for us, like PlayStation 2, $40 was expensive for us.
As a
Then
kid.
that's $40, bro.
As a kid, yeah.
And then PlayStation 3 comes out, oh, it's 50
50
bucks.
bucks,
Then
60,
we got
70.
like $10 more. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you bought it. Then the PS4 came out, $60. That right there, that's where I got a little heart. That's
A
where I
little
got
bit. A little bit.
big. And then now that the PS5 came out, it's
Yeah.
literally $70 for a game. And what's their excuse? Oh, you guys want to pay? You guys want to have better games? We have to raise the price. We have to put better quality and all that stuff. So like, I mean, it's a tactic. It's like
Yeah.
consume tactic. I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like games are gonna be expensive, and like people are gonna still play them for facts.
Yeah.
It's just, and I just think that they don't want to pay that much. They're just gonna wait. For me, it was like I think most of us in the podcast that are listening to is that when we were growing up with video games, we wanted a game, right? Like you wanted a game or something.
Yeah.
It was $50. What did we do? We had to wait months, even a year, until the price went down to $20
Sometimes.
or 30, or Black Friday. That was like the only way we could get it cheap because we didn't have enough money to pay for a game, And,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's gonna happen in the future, that the gaming are gonna be a little bit more expensive. Watch.
That's a concern too going in for sure because thankfully, how can I say this? When they bringing back, the older games like the Warriors are tight too.
Oh yeah,
That's my top five for sure. um,
that's another gem right there to that game,
they
right
need
there.
to have like. See, here's the thing is it's all about rights and cut and stuff like that. But maybe if possible. So if you're listening to this right now, guys, you're a company that has the whole gaming stuff like Sega or Rockstar or whatever. Let me know if you guys can have DLCs for the older games. You know what I'm saying? That would be cool too. But probably not. But that'd be a good idea, but probably not.
Yeah.
But
I think maybe in some games we
yeah.
might see those type of DLCs in the future. I mean, look at Mortal Kombat. What they're doing, they're bringing pop culture. Like you can play a Terminator and these and like that. DLC. I feel like maybe in the future we might see a game where we'll see one of the characters from the Warriors, or maybe a Def Jam character. It could happen. Anything's possible. It's just the
Well,
game.
that, but like meaning it like when they bring a PS1 or PS2 game, maybe PS3 also back into the PS4 or PS5 store.
Mm.
Will it be downloads for that old game that was transferred over to the PS4, PS5? You know what I mean? Probably not, but
I think so.
hopefully.
Because like if you kind of think about it, like that, I know some games they're not like those games are kind of hard to put our CDs because it won't read it because it's already outdated.
Yep.
That's why they make it digital. That's why you have a PlayStation. Either you buy the one with CD or you want the digital version. So I think that's pretty cool. You have both options. But I feel like PlayStation knows that there's a huge fan base that loves the old school games, you know. There's a big fan base. So they keep on adding them. It's just there's not a lot of diversity on that because the bit rate on those games were really bad, you know, and they tried to do as much as possible to make it as much as possible to handle it. That's why. That's I think that's the main reason why I think they don't bring those type of games anymore. I mean, PlayStation, I mean, Nintendo Switch, they have a lot of 64 games. You can play on the Switch and it looks good. I don't know how they did it, but
Yeah.
and those games were freaking cassettes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
how did they manage to bring that type of quality to a Switch? And PlayStation can't even bring a CD from like years and
That's
make it
fair
good.
enough.
I don't know, man. I think
That's
every
true.
company has their own secrets.
That's true, man. That is freaking true for sure. But yeah, man, you know what? I know right now you gotta go on a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead, and go towards the end of the video today. But we are welcome to have you back for sure. Just let me know, and then we can get going on that. But before we head out today, is there anything that you want to share to the audience out there who's watching the video?
I just gotta say, well, first, thanks for having me
Of
to the
course.
podcast. I really enjoyed it. I just talking about video games and stuff. I mean, something that I enjoy doing. Not a lot. I don't talk to it very much, but like here, I felt more like like more open. I could talk about this. I could talk about that. And I'm pretty sure most of the people, all the people that are listening to the podcast, they're gonna connect to it. So like that's something pretty cool. So yeah, but no, I just want to say, thank you for the opportunity. Shout outs to the gaming community out there. Shout outs to everybody listening to the podcast. This is a pretty awesome thing that what you're doing, and I appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, social media. I mean, you can find me on all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of these. Just search me up under @C_Ortiz_ DJSwiff, and you'll see me there. Or shout outs to everybody that's listening from the university. From CGSB. Some of you might know me from there, but yeah, that's my. Feel free to message me and stuff. Yeah, do a little bit of things here and there. But yeah, so follow me there. But I really appreciate it, man. And I'm whenever you wanna. I guess the season's gonna be over for this one, right? Like this is like almost.
Yeah, so one more episode left, and then I'll be in season 3. But you could be a start for season 4. Who knows?
I'm down. I'm down for season 4. I'm down
Okay.
to talk more in depth of other games.
Definitely.
Like things like that. I think so. Yeah, I got so many to talk about, man. Like
Same.
I think for next one I'll talk about how some video games are like inspired by like artists, like when they do their music videos. Like you can see some hints right there of like video game. Even some I just found out just a few weeks ago. There's like artists that literally sample from video games, like songs.
Oh.
I got to show you that one. I'll
Okay.
have to find out the songs. I'm gonna try to find the songs for you, and for the next podcast, I'm gonna show them to you, and you'll be like, "Was that really a sample?" You'll be surprised. I'll have that one for season 4, guys. I'll have you guys that one ready.
All right, cool. Yeah, man, and like feel free to have like your whole little stand and DJ thing ready, to go, because for the channel you can do whatever you want to. It's not just all like face to face, which is cool too. But if you want to have some extra stuff to it, bring it on to the thing then. So it's all good.
You got it, man. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh yeah, man. Anytime. So okay, everybody, that was DJSwiff here on Gaming Community Establishment Podcast Show. So catch us next time in the next season for sure. And don't forget, this October 9th, from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., Def Jam Fight for New York tournament and a best costume contest going down in San Bernardino. First place winner for the fighting game tournament will win $500. The first place winner for the costume contest, $100. Raffles, food and drinks, and a lot more coming you guys' way. Stay tuned for that and stay up to date on the information about the tournament. But in the meantime, you all be safe out there. Be good, be great, and we are out. So peace out, everybody.
All right, everybody. Have a good day. See you next time.
All right, peace out.